The biggest controversial figure in the world right now is a man named Andrew Tate.
Mm-hmm.
He's been everywhere, and he's also been canceled. He's someone that we speak on this channel often, not because we believe in everything he says, but the idea that he can't speak what he wants is concerning. What do you think about him?
Well, look, I agree with you on what you're saying. I don't particularly think that his business or the things that he did is something that I'm not comfortable with, but I do think that he says a lot of things and that he's a reasonable person in what he's trying to convey to people. And it's true. He's been silenced. They're keeping him against his will for something that he probably shouldn't be being held for. And I don't know, it's funny because my son is sitting in there. He likes him.
Mm-hmm.
My other son really doesn't. So it's like they always have arguments about Andrew Tate together. But I don't know. I think that he's a victim of what we're all going through right now also, what we've gone through as well. So from that standpoint, or from a constitutional standpoint, I think that he's being wronged.
I mean, there are plenty of things that he says that I can see why people don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Especially I can see why women don't like.
Yeah.
Because he uses words that maybe some women don't appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not speaking directly to the women.
Mm-hmm.
He's speaking to young men. And basically what he's telling people is stop feeling sad, get off your ass, and get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something so raw and honest about that people are missing the overall message. And they locked him up. And he's almost become the poster child of global cancellation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that your sons are split.
Well, because one's really kind of against morally of like the things that he's doing. But to your point, yeah, so this guy, whatever, he was not wrestling, what was he fighting? Kickboxing. Has $6,000 left to his name, starts this business, builds it up, becomes a billionaire. That's the American dream, right? To be able to have the freedom to do that and to be freedom to speak out. And, on the flip side, I'm not one of those women who automatically believe women when they say things, because I've seen women do things for their own benefit and because they're just so hateful and mean towards men. So I'm not one of those women who is like, like hashtag me too, like believe every woman.
Believe all women.
I don't, because there are some really evil psychotic women out there who have their own interests in mind. And, just the little bit that I saw of what had happened and the videotape of these women going shopping, they were not held against their will. They had the freedom. They're in stores. If you had something really going on and there was a real problem, I would think that you would try to alert somebody as to that there was a problem, not be taken back in your luxury car and your shopping bags and like going back home. So yeah, when I see that, that's what I see with my own eyes. And then I have a problem with it. Then I question it and say, well, I don't know that this guy is really doing what they said he did.
Mm-hmm. That's what Andrew Tate was pushing. Fight back. Don't sit down. Don't take it for what it is. Question who's telling you what to question. Mm-hmm. Think about what their motive is when they tell you something, and push back. It's if you're a man, it's okay to be a man.
Yeah, please bring men back. Where did they go? Like,
people did not like that. I think that's the message, because they say it's about misogyny. I don't think it's about. There are way more misogynistic people on the internet than this guy. If you had to claim of people that are harmful to women, he's not at the top of your list.
Right.
There are thousands of rappers, different musicians, actors that are all Hollywood types that are higher on this list of people that are harmful to women. Mm-hmm. That's not the reason. It's because he was telling men to be men. And they don't like that anymore these days.
No, they don't want men to be masculine. They don't want them to be strong.
And what's wrong with, what happens if men stop doing men things?
then
where do we go?
We are weak. We're a weak society.
You know, what happens if someone invades? What are you going to do?
I don't know. Argue about pronouns, I guess, and then
who goes
decide.
to war? If the bridge breaks, who's going to build the bridge?
I don't know.
Who's going to build the road? You know, and not to say that women they're different.
Listen, I know they're different, and I'm so accepting of that, and that's clear. And I'll bring it back to my tennis and stuff. I could play tennis against a guy who's ranked the same as me, and he's going to kill me. It's just the way it is, and I'm accepting of that. And I'll try really hard. I'm not just going to let him win and be like, oh well, he's a guy, he's going to kill me. I'll try the hardest I've ever played in my life. I'll be like, play my little heart out, but I'm probably going to lose. And I get that. And I want to, like, I want men to be strong. I want to have, people that are, you feel like they're taking care of you. I'm not from this mindset like, oh, I'll do everything myself. And, I don't need a guy to open a door for me or to do something. Like, no, chivalry, I like it. Like, what we're teaching people that they don't have to do that anymore, and that don't have to be respectful and be a real man, that it's okay to be like kind of this, just like a male, like a male version of a woman,
It's weird. I mean, I don't get it. I don't see what the end game is here, because I don't see how society survives.
Well, that's
if we just make everyone the same. You need people to be different and celebrate the difference and tell people it's okay to be different. And because we're different, we have our own roles within society. And because of that, we work together. We help each other. I do something you can't do. You do something I can't do.
Right.
And that's a good thing. Why do they want everyone to be the same?
Well, taking men out of their traditional roles is making them weaker, and they want a weak society because a weak society obeys.
Easier to control.
Yeah, much more easier to control. I mean, truthfully, a lot of women, and I'm a woman, so I can say this, but I see it around me that a lot of women are much quicker to just kind of, I want to say fall in line, because I definitely know a lot of strong women. So that being said, I do see that women will be much more accepting of things and much less willing to make waves than men will be. And they don't like the fact that men are wanting to make waves and men are standing up for things. So it's easier to just, weaken that part of society